Okay. Welcome to everyone for tuning in to the live stream of Book Dash Storytelling to see what's been created on this day. You might be wondering why we're all wearing hats. um, the Book Dash Day, the ask of what we do, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about it now. The ask that we ask of the creatives to make an entire children's book in less than 12 hours, actually. They've got about 10 hours of working time, is insane. So throughout the day, we do try and have a few little energy boosters and lifters and make the whole event fun. So if you're wondering why we're all wearing hats, that's why. My name is Julia Norrish, and I'm the director at Book Dash. And I would like to just give everyone a bit of an overview of what Book Dash is. I know a lot of you might be familiar with the cause already, and that's why you've tuned in. And I'm sure we've got a couple creative alumni as well watching, so you will be able to sympathize with what the creatives today have just achieved. And I hope that you have positive memories involved with your last Book Dash experience. If there are people, creatives who haven't done a Book Dash before, who are tuning in, then look out for how you can get involved in future events. Right, so Book Dash is a South African not-for-profit publisher of children's books. Our target range is the 0 to 5-year-old children, and our vision is for every child to own 100 books by the time they turn 5. The reason for that vision is based on a lot of research that shows that owning books and having books in your home and having easy access to books so that you can read a lot and interact a lot with books has a huge impact on a child's potential for academic success and also their early social emotional skills, which are incredibly important for the rest of their lives. And this impact can be more than the level of their parents' education and more than the effects of their socioeconomic background. So by giving children many books that they can see themselves in and relate to, and books that are in home language, we can really make a difference to the future of those children. But in order to do that, we need to have loads of beautiful local books in all official languages that we can distribute not in hundreds, but in hundreds of thousands, so that all children can own many books and not only borrow books from libraries, but actually have them in their homes. And importantly, you'll see when we go through our books, every Book Dash book has a page that says this book belongs to. And that sense of ownership has also been shown to be really important in the research around books and the impact that they can make. So to that end, the amazing founders of Book Dash developed a way to make children's books that, just to give you an idea, can take anywhere up to a year, usually at least 6 months to make. But they condensed that process down into one day. And that's what we've been doing today. So we gather creative professionals who volunteer their time, and together we make new African storybooks. The other amazing thing is that all of these books are open licensed. So anyone can go onto the website and read them. They can also download them. They can print them. They can distribute them. Anything that they can contribute to increasing access to books for children. In terms of why we're here today, we were planning to have a physical Book Dash event. So we've hosted 14 of these events before, and we've created 137 different titles over the last 6 years. And normally 10 teams of volunteer creatives gather in a beautiful big room, and we have music and we have bunting, and people work collaboratively but in person over 12 hours, and each team makes a book in 12 hours. Obviously, because of current circumstances and because of the lockdown over most of the world and in South Africa, we couldn't have a physical version of a Book Dash this month. And we saw this as an opportunity to experiment whether the Book Dash model and methodology could be adapted to take place virtually. And in the experimental nature of the original Book Dashes, that we also weren't sure if they were going to work back in 2014, we wanted to see, is it possible to have creatives from across the country collaborate online, but from their homes, and produce a children's book in 12 hours, which is, the more that we think about it, I think, and now that we know it's worked, it's completely magical, and in many ways more unbelievable than when people can sit together physically and communicate quickly to make a book. So the creatives that you'll hear from in a couple minutes are not even sometimes in the same city, and yet they've worked together for the past 12 hours since 9 o'clock this morning to create a book that will go online to our website in the next couple of weeks, and will then be translated and printed and distributed to children to own. And I think that that is something incredible. So the fact that you are able to witness this story time that is usually only possible for people who are at the physical event to witness, I think is incredible. I do just want to say, I mentioned that we've made 137 different titles. Those have been translated into many, many different languages by ourselves and around the world because of the open licensing of the books. We have also worked with partners to print and distribute over 750,000 physical copies of these books to children, so 750,000. And our next goal is the big 1 million books in 6 years. I think that that's truly incredible work. And again, because of the open licensing nature of the books, they're featured on our website, but they also get redistributed to at least 50 platforms that we know of that feature our books digitally. And just from the statistics that we know and that we get feedback from our digital partners, we know that the books have been read at least 2 million times around the world, very likely much more than that. So the reach of the books and the work that the creatives have done today is phenomenal. And they're really at the heart of Book Dash, and all the subsequent steps and all of the subsequent impact that the organization has is because these people are willing to give their time and talent for 12 hours on a Saturday to make free books for children. And that's incredible. So in terms of what has happened today, we started at 9 a.m., which feels in some ways like a year ago and in some ways like an hour ago. And there were no illustrations on the spread, there was no cover, there was nothing. There was a story idea, and there were a lot of very talented and eager people wanting to make books. And they've worked together until about 10 minutes ago, which is why we had to delay the stream a little bit to put together full publishable children's books. Book Dash does sell our books in bookstores as well to subsidize our donations, and the sales have been doing incredibly, and I think that that speaks to the quality of the books that we produce. So these are very high quality books that you're going to see that get given away for free to children, because we believe that all children should own books. The funders for today were the Otto Foundation Trust. This is the 4th Book Dash event that they've funded, and we just want to thank them for walking this journey with us, for being willing to come on this experiment with us, and for putting another 3 books into the world. Then finally, well, almost, I want to thank the creatives that have taken part today. They have all done a Book Dash before. We knew that putting the Book Dash model onto a virtual platform was not going to be an easy task. Sharing files, communicating, it was really important to us that the volunteers knew the Book Dash process already. So I want to thank them truly for being willing to also, again, experiment. I'm sure they'll all agree it was quite different to all the other Book Dashes we've had, but equally thrilling, equally stressful, and an amazing creative challenge at the end of the day. I think as the creatives are working, they're thinking about finishing the book. And only at this time of the day can we reflect on the greater impact that the books will have once they leave this space and go onto the website and also get printed. So yeah, I mentioned that the virtual nature of this event means that you get to join for the most magical time of the Book Dash day. And before I say anything else, I'm going to hand over to Arthur, who's one of the founders of Book Dash and was a big part in developing the 12-hour process that we've just all been through. And he's going to work to present the stories and the teams who've been integral to today's achievements.
Great. Thank you so much, Julia. It's just amazing to be here at the end of what is my 15th Book Dash, and just as incredible as anyone that's come before it. So my job is to turn the pages on these beautiful books. We're going to ask each team, we've got 3 teams, and so 3 books to read, to introduce themselves, and the writers are going to read us their stories. Just before we get onto the stories, you're going to meet each of the writers, and hopefully the rest of the teams, the designer and illustrator of each team, will pop up on the live stream as they introduce themselves. I first just want to introduce one of the members of all 3 teams, our editor, Louis Greenberg. Louis, could you just say hi so that people can see you there?
Hi there.
Cool. Louis' mic's pretty quiet.
I could say hello. Pop up in the bottom.
There we go. We got him. Louis has joined us from the UK. Louis is a Book Dash alum, did a Book Dash with us in Johannesburg a few years ago. And when he moved to the UK, we were super sad. And now we get to have him in a Book Dash again because it's virtual. So thanks so much, Louis. Louis worked closely with each of the teams as the editor today. A really important role to help the teams craft their story as they work. Right, so we're going to get into intros. Our first team of the day is going to read their book now, and I'm just going to ask them to each introduce themselves. First a writer, then illustrator, then designer, and then the writer is going to read their story.
And are we doing it's an order of number? Are we doing team 1, 2, and 3?
Yes, we are. Thank you, Sam. Yes, we'll do team 1 first. So Sam, go for it.
Sorry, you broke up a little bit there.
Yep, go for it, Sam. You're up first.
Okay then. Hi there. I'm Sam Wilson. I'm the writer on team number 1.
I'm the illustrator on team number 1, and I'm Tia, right? That's important.
Hi there, I'm Chanel, and I'm the designer on team number 1.
And the book we've created is called Where's That Cat? And this is a wordless book, and it's the 3rd part in a trilogy, which the 3 of us have been working on now for many years. We've done 2 other Book Dashes before this, in which we created, firstly, the book called Spring Loaded, which if you look at the bottom of the screen, you should be able to see the cover of. And the sequel to that was called Goldfish Genius. Now, Spring Loaded is all about a little girl called Neo, whose father is an inventor, and he builds himself a helicopter hat and flies away, and she gets bored waiting for him, so she decides that there's no reason why she can't be an inventor too, and she builds a pair of spring boots and launches herself up into space in order to try and find her father. And Goldfish Genius is the 2nd wordless book in the series, and that was all about a goldfish which Neo's father gave her for her birthday, and the goldfish was also a genius, and he tried to go outside to play with them but ended up getting blown away in his homemade balloon. When he tied a bunch of party balloons to his fishbowl, he ended up blowing into the sea and having a wild adventure before Neo came to rescue him underwater. And this is the third book in the series. And I would like to read it to you now. Now, this is going to involve some interpretation because there are no words in this book, but I will tell you what I believe is happening. So, Neo and her father are both inventing, and so is the goldfish genius. Neo is lying on the carpet and making herself a toy car. She thinks, hang on, where's my cat? She asks her father, where's the cat? Her father doesn't know. She goes outside and calls, Cat, where are you? She walks through the neighborhood, putting up flyers, asking, has anyone seen her cat? She feels depressed. There's no sign of him. But then she sees some spilled mustard on the ground and some yellow footprints leading out the door. She goes outside, following the footprints all the way into the garage. In the garage, she sees her father's latest invention. She sees the footprints going into one side of it, and a tiny, tiny yellow dots coming out the other. She goes into the machine, and it shrinks her down. She comes out on the other side, and follows the tiny, tiny footprints leading away from the machine. She goes into the garden, and she's tiny. There's a butterfly which comes and chases her. Oh, and then she sees a shongololo. She climbs up the steps away from the shongololo and climbs into the house. She sees a tail behind the cat's bowl. It's her cat, and he is full of cat food. She gives him a huge hug and looks out the door, but the shongololo and the butterfly are still there. Then she has a clever idea. She jumps into the toy car with the cat and drives away. Bye-bye, shongololo. Bye-bye, butterfly. And her father is very surprised to see Neo and her cat in the giant toy car. And that's the end of the adventure.
Yay!
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
That's just one of the three that was hectic.
I gotta say, I mean, the amount of work that had to go in to the last 12 hours to produce that, plus a fair bit of thinking and planning work beforehand, is just really fantastic. Just amazing. Thank you so much. Very exciting. Okay, for our next team, can team two introduce themselves? Again, writer, then illustrator, then designer, and then the writer can read the story.
Hi everyone, my name is Refilo Muashludi and I am the writer.
Hi everyone, my name is Subi. I'm the illustrator for Team 2.
Hi everyone, I'm Natalie and I'm the designer for Team 2.
The things that really matter. We are going on a trip. I ask Mama what to pack. She says, the things that really matter. We stop at the windmill for breakfast. The jungle gym is so much fun, I forget my toy. I am sad in the car, but Tando is happy. Hooray! Now you can play with me, he says. We stop at a farm to see some animals. Tando is searching so hard for a springbok. A monkey gets away with his headphones. He is sad in the car, but I am happy. Hooray! Now you can sing with me, I say. We stop at a roaring waterfall. We are so excited. We are pushing and pulling. Papa falls in the water, and so does his map. He is sad in the car, but Mama is happy. Hooray! Now I can help you find our way, she says. We stop at the roadside vendor to buy some mealies. Mama bends over to pick the best ones, and her glasses fall and break. Mama is sad in the car, but Papa is happy. Hooray! Now we can find our way together, Papa says. We stop on an ancient hill to get a view of the valley. Papa is making silly jokes for us to smile for the picture. But when we get back to the car, it won't start. Everyone stops laughing. Don't worry, says Mama. We can still have a good time. We are the things that really matter. And so we do have a good time by playing and singing and finding our way together while enjoying the best mealies. The end.
Yay! I love it.
Thank you so much. That was just wonderful. Really, really special story.
The monkey at the
Thank you so
end
much, Team 2. Brilliant stuff.
is my favorite.
Okay, for our third and sadly final team, I'm going to ask Team 3 to come and introduce themselves to read us Lesedi's Sandbox. And again, if I could ask writer, then illustrator, then designer, just to say their names so we can see them.
Hi everyone, my name is Matapelo Mabaso and I'm the writer on Lesedi's Sandbox.
Hi, I'm Jess and I'm the illustrator on Team 3.
Hi, I'm Togo and I'm the designer on Team 3.
Lesedi dreams of going to the beach. He wants to feel the sand between his toes and build a sand castle So his parents came up with a plan.
Okay, Matapelo, are we in sync? If you can see
yes.
the stream's playing up.
Yes.
Great stuff.
I
Go
can
for
see
it.
it now. Yeah. It's the holidays, and I'd love to go to the beach, but we have never been. I wonder what it feels like to play in the sea sand. Surprise! Look what we made you. A sandbox, exclaims Lesedi's dad. Dad says he used some of his old tires. Mom painted it with all my favorite colors, blue, red, and yellow. I can't wait to get inside. I climb into my sandbox and my feet feel so warm and squishy. Look, I'm at the beach. I set up my umbrella, but the wind blows it away. That looks like a good spot to spread my blanket. The ocean makes a roaring sound. Beach daring the waves to catch me. Footprints in the sand. Using my bucket and spade, I dig for shells. They come in many shapes and sizes. Let me build a sandcastle. Wow, that's huge. It's lunchtime. Maybe I should have a strawberry jam sandwich. My favorite. Lunch was so yummy. For dessert, Mom brings me some chocolate ice cream. I lie on my blanket, enjoying my ice cream, and gaze at the sky turning pink. Lesedi's mom and dad watch him, their eyes beaming with pleasure. I'm so happy we could make his dream come true right here at home, Lesedi mom says. This has to be the happiest day of my life. Thank you, Mom and Dad. The end.
Yay!
Oh, gorgeous.
Yay! Thank you so much. Thanks for working with the laggy internet there as well, Matapelo. That was wonderful.
Great.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you to everybody who's been watching, and especially to all these incredible creative professionals who've given this whole day and a whole lot of thinking beforehand. I also want to a big special thank you to the team at Book Dash, Julia, Dorette, and Zabe, who've worked just unbelievably hard preparing for today. It has been an amazingly complex enterprise to put together to get this big group of people all in place and all organized to be able to pull off this incredible creative endeavor. The tools, the tech, the processes, the documents. The creatives have received snack packs in as deliveries in the days leading up to try fuel them through today. There's been so much to do to make it all happen. So from me and the rest of the Book Dash volunteers, we just want to say a huge thank you to them. Thank you to everybody for everything they've done. For those who are watching, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We are going to go and have a really good night's sleep. Really pleased we put this gift in the world. We hope lots and lots of children will get to enjoy these books in the years to come. Thank you so much, everybody. Let's say goodbye. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.